What's up guys, macadii here bringing you another battle for our OU session. Now today I'm against a subscriber of mine called Mike Wrecked. So looking at his team, he has... First thing that stuck out to me was the Garbodor, and I absolutely love that because having a Garbodor in OU is just beautiful. So he has what looks to be a Mega Gardevoir, a Ferrothorn, which is probably going to be Ferrothorn Rotom core, pretty standard, bulky core, and that's going to be a bit of a tricky thing to get past. A Doublade as well, which is quite interesting, so we'll have to see how that plays out. And then a Sylveon as well, so he has a relatively slow team, but I think my team's probably a bit slower, so it is still going to benefit from it. So in terms of lead, I'm not really sure what to expect from him, so I'm going to go out into Ding Dong, just because it handles everything pretty well, and it shouldn't be too bad. So I go out into Ding Dong, as he does lead off with the Rotom. Now, I'm pretty sure this doesn't have Taunt, so this is going to give me the opportunity to set up my Trick Room, and I think I'm going to just go for an Explosion. Get as much damage off on this Rotom as possible. He does go for the Will-O-Wisp and misses. Actually, he does not have a Defogger, so I'm actually going to use this opportunity to get my Stealth Rocks up, and that's going to be stuck on the field for the rest of the battle, so that's going to be really good. It's really tempting to explode on this, but actually I think I could probably preserve this. So Conkedurr wouldn't be too bad a switch actually, because if I get burnt, it's not the worst thing in the world because I do have the guts. So that won't be too bad. So he is taking a while to decide what he's going to go for, which I'm just thinking, I think it is worth keeping Ding Dong around. He does go out into this, and in terms of what to switch in, I could really... I guess I can go out into Reuniclus. There's not much I can do. I'm going to go out into Reuniclus, and I'm pretty sure there's not much that thing can do. He may decide to go for a Leech Seed. He probably is going to be setting up his own rocks by the looks of things. But considering I'm not very rocks weak, it's not going to be too bad. He does go for Leech Seed. He does miss, but to be honest, that doesn't make any difference at all. I'm going to be a little bit cheeky, and I'm going to go for Shadow Ball, because I feel a Focus Blast is probably one of the most obvious things in the entire world. And this is still going to do a pretty decent chunk, and I don't think this really has much for me. And I'm pretty sure that would 2-hit KO. That should do, I think. In theory. Well, not even in theory, guesswork. But, and I really think that Doublade's coming in, because that's going to be a little bit scary. And he does go into the Rotom, so a Shadow Ball won't be able to do that much to it. So that looks specially defensive, to be honest. So I'm gonna go for Psyshock. That looks like sort of physically defensive Ferro, specially defensive Rotom. With the Willow as well, that does make a bit of sense in my mind. I know they do commonly go physical, but Ferros normally prefer to go physical as well, especially with that fighting weakness. That doesn't take him out. And he does get a crit T-Bolt, which paralyzes me. So that's going to be a little bit of a pain. Trick Room does run out this turn. So I'm actually going to use this opportunity to set up another Trick Room. And even if he does decide to Volt Switch out, that is now a dead Rotom as well because of the rocks. So he's not going to be switching out. So that's definitely a plus on my part. Oh, he's got the Pain Split. I forgot with Magic Guard you can still do that. But a Psyshock will be taking him out still. And a T-Bolt, yeah, I'm going to be able to live a T-Bolt. And that's going to leave me in a position where I am guaranteed to get another hit off. I guess the Doublade can come in then. But after that, I can still go out into Crawdaunt and get an absolutely disgusting hit off. I do get parried, which is a shame, because that would have been a dead Rotom right there. Oh well, not much you can do. But, we'll see what he goes out into. There's honestly, you don't need to apologise for hacks. It's just something that happens. He is going to go out into this thing. So, to be honest, I think Blob is at the end of the line here. So, I am just going to let this go down. I don't think he's going to set up. It would have been good to have been able to take that Rotom out, but there's not much you can do. So, from here, I can go out into... That may outspeed me. That's the only thing with Xmas Crab. And it is going to... may not outspeed me with Randolph. But that is still physical. That's the thing. So, I don't actually have a huge amount. I guess, as I said, I do have the knockoff. But I think actually Randolph is the way to go, because he is going to have the Sacred Sword. And I'm really not going to... I'm going to want to keep... probably Water Priority will work quite well. In the last battle, some of the guys were asking about why I have priority on my Pokemon when I get Trick Room. And that's mainly because Trick Room's not really around for that long. So it's just a really good way to make sure that I do get some... It's sort of speed compensation for when I'm outside of Trick Room. He could go out into the Gardevoir now, but this will be taking a pretty huge hit, considering it's not Mega'd up. He's going to take Rocks as well. So I'm not exactly sure what he's going to be doing from here. I'm a little bit interested as well with this Garbodor, because thinking about it as well, the Gardevoir I will be able to outspeed twice. He does go out into his utter trash, which looks to be a defensive Garbodor as well. I do knock off his Rocky Helmet now, which is absolutely excellent. So, I'm pretty comfortable going out into Ding Dong. I have a feeling T-Spikes are coming my way though, and I really don't appreciate that. So, I'm going to go out into Bronzong, so I could set up Trick Room again. I know I have a really bad feeling either Spikes or T-Spikes are coming up, but I can set up the Trick Room, and then I'll be outspeeding from there, and I can get an explosion off, and... Oh, he does go for the Gunk Shot, fair enough. So, Trick Room does end, so I can set up the Trick Room again. I just need to make sure that Ding Dong stays alive, especially with Reuniclus not being here anymore. That just sounded completely the opposite of what I was just saying with the explosion. But if this Garbodor can't really touch me, which it doesn't look like it can, I'm quite comfortable doing that. So he does go back out into Hug Me now, and actually looking at my team, I don't have a huge amount to take this on. So I think I'm going to have to go out into Randolph and get a strong physical hit off. If he does decide to go out into the Doublade, I can knock that off and knock off whatever he's got on there. He does go for the Leech Seed this turn because my Reuniclus now isn't here. I'll be interested to see how much a Drain Punch does, because I think it's going to do a pretty decent chunk, to be honest. That's one thing I do lack on this team, is a solid counter to Ferrothorn. I guess I have the Ampharos with the Focus Blast, thinking about it. But I would like to just take this out. He does have the Protect. So I'm going to go for the Drain Punch here to get some HP back. And then predicting the Protect, again, I'm going to go back out into my Ampharos. There is a chance he will go out to the Doublade, but I can't... I want to get as much damage off on this as possible. He does go out to the Garbodor. So now, from here, I can go back out into... I'm going to go back out into Bronzong, actually. Because, as we saw, I don't think there's a huge amount this thing can do to me. And he is baiting in the Ferro each time. So I'm going to go back out to Garbodor. Not Garbodor. Bronzong. And Trick Room will end that turn, so I can set it up again. But it's breaking through that Ferro is going to be the real tricky thing. So I'll go out into Ding Dong, as he does go for the Pain Split. So he does have something that he can hit me with. I'm going to go for the Trick Room here, just in case he does decide to switch out. If he decides to go out into the Gardevoir, I probably will just stay in and get an explode. No. Oh yeah, actually, I will outspeed. So yeah, I'll probably get an explosion off on that. Because I don't think a Gyro Ball will be taking that out. It may do more, actually, thinking about it. Considering I got 71 speed, which is so-so. If I just double check as well on the team builder, I have a feeling I haven't actually put 0 speed IVs on that. No, I have, and I haven't got a negative nature. Something was niggling in my mind. So while he's just making his move, we're going to go for, where is it? High defense, low speed. Well, relaxed, that's it. Okay, so he has gone for a move. He does switch out into the Doublade as I get the Trick Room up. So I'm going to go back out into, I think, probably Conk. Yeah, I'm going to go out to Conk. I have a feeling, even if he does decide to SD, I can still take that out. And I will be most likely outspeeding in the Trick Room. This thing is a little bit scary, though. Even in OU, it's absolutely terrifying. So he does go for the SD this turn. So I'm going to go for the knockoff here. Considering that speed range, I very much doubt he runs min speed. So I'm pretty confident that I can outspeed. And possibly if I can knock off his Eviolite, a Aqua Jet from Crawdaunt may take him out from there. I say may. He does go for the Shadow Sneak, and from there, I'm not going to be able to take him out, unfortunately. So, he's going to be able to take me out as well. I do have the Rotom, but then I really can't do a huge amount. I guess I can, because I've got I've knocked off his Eviolite. He is going to be outspeeding the next turn, so I'm going to have to take an absolutely massive hit. Actually, no, oh no, I've got 125 speed. I'm not going to be outspeeding. He's going to take me out. I can then go out into... It's tricky. I'm definitely... Question is, do I keep this Randolph around? I would like to keep Randolph around, just because I know... I guess it's... it might do work still. So... Shadow Sneak is definitely coming my way. We know that for sure. So, maybe Glitch is the way to go. I'm going to go out into Glitch, because Shadow Sneak is his only play. And then, I think, maybe sack off Conk the next turn, because he's going to have to go for a Sacred Sword here, and then I can come back in and I can get a T-Bolt off. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to sack off Randolph, because that's going to end Trick Room, and then I can go back out into Glitch, and I can get a T-Bolt off. And I'm going to have a special attack boost, so I'm pretty sure that's going to take him out. I didn't have the, I was expecting him to have a, whatchamacallit, Sacred Sword, but obviously he doesn't. So I don't know what his last move is. So we're going to go back out into Glitch, just because it's my bulkiest mon, and he can't get priority Shadow Sneak off on me as well. But I can't see, there's not too much that can switch in. I guess the Ferro can switch in, but then I think an Ice Beam after that is going to do a pretty decent chunk to that. So I'm going to go for the T-Bolt here just to take this out. In terms of what could switch in from there, I'm not exactly sure, but it is going to get rid of the last thing that's getting in the way of my Trick Room team in terms of speed. So I can then set up with Glitch and get another Trick Room off from there. In terms of what he's going to bring in, he may bring the Ferro in, but to be honest, I can just stall that out, even if he does get the Leech Seed off on me. Sylveon, I'm not going to be able to break through, I don't think, but then is there much it can do to me? It might be worth me just setting up the Trick Room on that, to be honest. Or even going out into Bronzong. So he does go out into Hug Me now. And I think I'm relatively happy just going for, let's see. He's probably going to, I'm going to probably outspeed. So there's no point me setting up the Trick Room. So I'm going to go for a Ice Beam here, just to see how much this does, because I have a feeling this is more, maybe more physically defensive, maybe. It's really difficult to tell. It's always difficult with Ferros to work out exactly what they have. That doesn't do too much, but it's not too bad. Okay, so he does knock off my Eviolite, which I must admit I wasn't expecting. I'm just going to go for another Ice Beam, because as of that, that's a 2-hit KO, which isn't too bad at all, really. He does decide to stay in, and he does get the Leech Seed off. That is going to bring him up past there, but I'm just going to keep spamming away with Ice Beam. I did 39% before. No, there's definitely no chance I'm going to be able to take him out. He does go for the Iron Head now. So what I can actually do is he's gaining 19%, which is going to be more, so I'm not going to be able to do that. How useful is this at the end of the day? It's relatively useful, but it would be good to get this Ferro out of the way as well. I'm going to take out this Ferro, just because it gets in the way of Crawdaunt sweeping, and I think from there, Garbodor will be taken out. I can take out a Sylveon. I should have predicted that. From here, though, I'm going to be forced to go for a Recover. This is going to take a lot longer than I expected. I completely forgot that he ran Recover. I think he used Recover before. He does go for the Iron Head again. I am just going to keep healing up. This thing is going to be an utter pain to try and deal with. What I might have to do is be clever and predict him from here, because he's not going to be going for another Leech Seed. So I can go out into Ampharos and get a Focus Blast off, which I think I'm going to do next. So I'm going to heal up just to a point where I'm relatively comfortable. And he does go for the Iron Head now. So I think from here, I'm going to go out into Ampharos, because an Iron Head really won't be doing that much. And he is... that's the only thing he can go. So... unfortunately, Microrect only has so much time left. I think his computer decides to update at really awkward times. I do get the power off, which is going to be quite useful, actually. Just to stop him from going on and on with Leech Seeds and stuff. So I'm going to go for a Focus Blast. I know he can bring in the Garbodor, but I still have about 50% health Porygon, which can set up on the Garbodor, set up potentially on Sylveon with that lovely Trick Room. And I still have Ding Dong as well waiting in the wings. He does go out into this, which I know he could have come into that quite easily. That really doesn't do a huge amount. And from here, I think actually Ding Dong is probably the one to go now, because I know for a fact that Glitch could probably take a Shadow... no, won't be super effectively hit by a Shadow Ball. He may have the Focus Blast, but that's more risky. Whereas Ding Dong, I'm pretty sure, will be taken out by a Shadow Ball. So, Ding Dong, it may be your time to go. Yeah. And I am going to go for... I'm going to go for a Trick Room, if I do survive. So, I go out into the Bronzong as he does Mega Up, and he goes the Shadow Ball, which is fair enough, and... it is going to be the end of Ding Dong. I'm going to click Trick Room just in case, but there's not much point risking anything else. Just goes for the Hyper Voice. Right, so from here, it now comes down to whether Glitch can take a hit. Considering I've lost my Eviolite, I don't think I can, but it is the only play that I can make. It's thrown up again whether Crawdaunt will be better off with a Focus Sash. So I'm going to go for the Trick Room here. He may decide to go for a Focus Blast, but I think, to be honest, a Hyper Voice will take me out anyway. Considering I brought this in, he may think I'm specially defensive or something like that and scare him a little bit. But that does take me out. So I think it's GG from here, unfortunately, because Crawdaunt is going to get taken down, and Aqua Jet is not going to be able to take that thing down. But it's the only option I've really got. So I think, unfortunately, that's the end of it. I need to have a think about Ferro counters as well. Ampharos, as I said, can handle it. And I need to just keep an eye on Reuniclus as well, just to make sure that's at a decent enough health to actually handle that. So I'm going to go for the Aqua Jet. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to KO. In a way, I hope it doesn't, because then I know I've wasted my Porygon. But I'm pretty confident that it's not. He can also go out into the Ferrothorn. He does stay in. That does 56%. So at least we've learned something. That's the key thing with Pokemon. If you can make sure every battle you learn something new. So we know that I can do about 55% to a Mega Garbodor. So I go into my Mega Ampharos, and T-Bolt is the only play I can really make. If I'd have predicted it and gone for the T-Bolt, I probably wouldn't be in the same problem. But to be honest, I needed that Ferrothorn out of the way. So unfortunately, he did manage to beat my team, and as I said before, props to him for using a Garbodor. That's absolutely beautiful. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you at the next one. Macadii out. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep up my latest content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Macadii out.